All right, everybody. Leah Selly here from GraffitiEyes. Today's Wednesday, so I've got a class for you where share this video and you'll be entered to win the artwork that I paint in class today, as well as one of these Snowflake stencils that I custom made. So I've only got a limited amount of those cut, and when I run out, I don't know, I'll come up with something new, but get one of those. Come with all orders from my website. So today we're going to use a whole bunch of different stencils, more just to show you kind of like how you can piece together a story and to give you guys all kinds of different ideas. And I think it's going to be pretty funny because it's ice cream. I'm going to make funny ice cream cone guys. So let's get this little party started. I'm going to leave the music going in the background. Kind of want to paint a little bit faster today and not talk so much, because that kind of, I say the same thing over and over again. So let's get it started. Let me just change the camera angle here and so you can see my setup. All right, here we go. So we got all kinds of different kits here. Arrows in action, argyles, happy hippie, fashion patterns. Those are our boosters that we're going to be using. And some of these old standbys, ultimates and emojis. So got lots of stencils. Check it out. Take some notes while you or paint along. We are specifically going to be using a lot of this guy. This little mouth down here. We'll show you some other cool stuff that we can do with some tears, some of these faces. I'm going to be using this big triangle guy today. I'm going to be using this from the fashion patterns and the drips. All right. Oh, and sorry, here's a couple others. If I can fit these in, depending on how my design turns out, I'm going to use some of this. This is from the Arrows in Action kit, and this one that I featured on Monday. I'll be using this guy here. So we'll just set these guys all aside. Going to be using my face paints today. Water activated makeup. Here's our little card we're going to paint on. And some ice cream. So give me a little shout out right now. Make sure that y'all can hear me over top of my music. I just want to make sure that you can hear the music, you can hear me. If I stop talking, you're at least entertained a bit. In the meantime, let's start painting. I'm going to use some browns. I'm going to give you, actually, I'll give you, I always talk so much because I'm a teacher, but here's some 3 browns that I've got. A lot of kids' skin color is actually this light color brown. A lot of kids, a lot of humans actually, a lot of humans' skin color is this color brown. So if you pick up this color brown and put it on their skin and notice right away, either go up darker or go down lighter to use golds or something, because golds will be nice and shiny and reflective on there. So there's a nice gold. Okay, so we'll be using some different browns today and some pinks. I got a dark pink and I got a light pink that I'll be using. And who else is joining the club? Some black. That's pretty exciting. And paintbrush, I'm going to use probably just a little number 2, number 4. Some glitter, probably use some blue glitter today. And sponges. You'll see me use some of these standard kind of face painting sponges. Got big ones, small ones, whatever I end up grabbing. And then along with my face paints, I like to use pressed powders. So they look like this. Basically, it's like an idea of an eyeshadow palette. I'll talk more about pressed powders another day, but that's what's up. When I use my pressed powders, I use these super dense makeup sponges. So they're really good for picking up powder. So let me make a little space here, and we'll start with creating a background. Okay. To do that, I'm going to use this stencil, this fashion patterns. Grab some water, and I'm going to start with my lightest brown. Let's use a bigger sponge for this job. All right, so I'm gonna just put some of this background on. I thought this looked like, I thought this kind of looked like waffle cone pattern texture, right? So I wanted to use that as my background. And we'll pick up everything. The stars. Even like some of these corners of these zigzags don't really matter. Then I'm going to put another little section down over here. This is just background, so I really just am rubbing this on really quickly. It's just to make some atmosphere. Awesome. So I've got a couple little sections here. I'm going to show you some tricks on blowing out your backgrounds. In the stencils that I'm using today, I got 2 different sizes of stars. So I'm just going to put some little stars around here. Coming off these edges. Maybe some down there. Just kind of break up the edge of this hard square. And I'm going to use some bigger stars too. Just going to load a little bit more water on my sponge here. Now, when you're doing this, to make it look like a continuous background, you can take some of these spikes off the star and line them up right with some of these lines. And if you do that, then I tell you, it makes it look more natural. So I kind of dare you to do that. So like right here on this little leg of my star, I'm just gonna pick up, I'm lining it over top of the lines that were already placed down. So it kind of looks like it's blowing and exploding off of that. Twist these stars around and around, and you can get different angles. So let's see. How will this hug in nice? Grab this little tip off of that part there. And I basically kind of want to fill up a lot of this bottom part that's just empty white. Kind of a little bit of a different background than you're used to, because usually we sponge on some color. This time we just left it blank, and we're just putting on stars and waffle cone texture. I'll put some down there. Okay, that's nice and fast. Cool, it's starting to look like a little bit of a party, hey? Okay, let's start with the one guy. So move that out of the way. We're gonna start with, we'll start with the one guy here. Okay, so this ice cream is actually gonna be upside down. So like he's a dropped one, he fell on the ground. So let's just grab a little sponge here, pick up some pink. And I'm just going to do it really basic. I'm going to use this circle emoji head. And kind of see how I have it off the edge of the thing there? That's only just because I want to make it look like it's on the ground. So I'm going to use my page as the bottom of the ground. You don't like the background music? Oh, how about I turn it down a tiny bit? But I'm not turning it off, honey. Sorry. It's my show. I thought for melting ice cream, I would put some Miami music in the background, you know? Some drums. Okay, next I'm going to take my little happy hippie stencil here and use this little cloud, and I'm going to make it kind of fall off the edge here. So it looks like the ice cream's melting in a little pile. And I'll stick just a hint of it over on this other side too. Yeah? Next, we'll paint a little ice cream cone on him. So I'm just gonna get some really dark brown, some water. Actually, let's mix these two. A light brown and a dark brown. I'll just go like that. Because we use this light brown, the super light brown in the background, so we'll just go up a level. Okay, I'm painting on paper, so I want to make this quite wet. So I'm going to make this a sugar cone, so it's going to be really tall. And I want it to be on a little bit of an angle, because I want it to be like a little bit of a funny story happening. So we're going to make this really tall coming up. Sorry for the painting on paper bit. Kind of drags. It looks pretty good, like the color of a sugar cone. Sugar cones are really the really pointy ones, right? It's actually the fun thing about doing these emojis, or painting these little emoji ice creams and stuff, is that you can really make them different kinds of ice cream cones. So it can be like different kinds of characters, right? Okay, there's cone. We'll let that guy dry. While we're letting that guy dry, I'll paint another cone over here for you guys. So again, we'll take a little bit of the darker color. And this cone, I'm going to specifically want to fill with this little guy as a pattern for my waffle type thing. So you can use this as kind of a guide, you know, like you can kind of set it down just for your own little reference to kind of see, okay, I need to have it like that kind of wide. So like that. And it's actually kind of good that you guys are seeing like painting on paper. It's kind of streaky and weird a little bit, but it doesn't matter, because when you use the stencils, you get that perfect transfer and that perfect sharp edge. So it makes up for any kind of wiggly bits. On this guy, let's put the ice cream on him too now. So I'm going to do that same trick. I'm going to use the circle from the emojis, and I'm going to use the cloud here. So I'll do a pink ice cream for this guy too. So we'll grab some pink. And then what I want to do is make this guy live on a little bit. So this is what I was talking about. This brown is still a little bit wet here, so I'm just going to put a little, I just grabbed a little pressed powder. It's going to dry up faster, so now I can put my stencil on and keep moving along. All right, so I want this ice cream to be, he's going to start to melt, but I want to have some of these bubbles on here too. So I'm going to just grab like that. Same thing, just to keep this speedy. When I'm painting stencils on kids, like I've said before, yeah, I use like pressed powder so I can go quickly with my designs. I kind of want this guy to start like I want this to be a little bit more falling off the edge, so I'm just going to make it a little bit more dramatic there and pick up a little bit more of that corner. See how I can do that? Okay. Then let's lay the big ice cream on there. So I want him to look like he's kind of melting too. So I'm going to put this, so that lower layer, I can't even talk. The lower layer of ice cream is overlapping, right? Keep this moving quick, and we'll put some powder on there. So how's that look? I think maybe I'd like to put a little bit more in there, so I'm just gonna boost this up a little notch. See how I can do that? Make it a little bit fatter, makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay. Now I'll show you a little trick. Since I got the pink out, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks here. I'll show you with my sponge, and then I'll show you with a dauber so that you can see. So you can see I'm not making it up. Okay, on this corner here, I want to have a little ice cream drip come down. So pick a drip that you like and connect it. So you're just going to take your sponge and you're just going to drag up right there. So I got a little drip there. If you're uncomfortable with using little things and squeezing your sponge, you can use one of these wooden daubers. They have a little tiny sponge on the end of this wooden wand. It's a little magic wand. Load it up, and then you can line it up and make some drips happen with this. Right? You can also, as another different effect, take like this bubbly bits that we used before and turn one over and just make it look like the ice cream is rounding off the edges. You can use this same little dauber and you can dip it in some white. And let me get some white here. And you can add instant highlights to your drips and stuff. So I can't remember what drip I picked. I'll just go with this one here. But you can add an edge to your drip in white so they stand out a little better. This is all if you have time. But a lot of this too, I kind of want you guys to fool around. So I'm trying to show you guys all kinds of different ways to fool around with the stencils. I'm just getting enough white on here. So you can put, with the white on here now, you could put drips coming within the ice cream. Oh, I'm not getting enough white on my wand. Sorry, hold on a second here. My little technical difficulty with my load. What I do is to make sure that I have enough, or if I don't have too much, I use a little paper towel and just dab it to make sure I don't have too much paint on my sponge. So let's do this. Let's do this over. Put the little white edges on there so they stand out better, right? And you can put it up into the ice cream so it looks like the ice cream's melting onto itself a little bit. You can take these bubbles here too that we used and you can put in some highlights, some edging like that. Makes it look like, whoops, makes it look a little bit more interesting too. Same thing up here. You can put a couple of little edges, or you could take your big circle and do it too. Meaning this one, right? Something like, if I was to use this big circle, I would take like white on a big sponge just to hit it from the edge. Ah, I'm not getting my white on my stuff today. See, now you can have, so just adding texture on there. Does that show up on the camera? Yeah, it shows up nicely. So this one's more flat. That one has texture, so that one looks just a little bit more interesting, right? So since this is a big old learning video, let's do it for you guys so you can see. Same thing here. You can take these guys and just tap the edge so it makes it look like, don't want to overdo it, so you can just do it in a couple of little sections to make sure. There we go. That looks cool. Okay. Yeah, that little subtlety shows up on camera nice. Okay, yay, so we use some drips, some little stars from here. That's cool, right? Let's decorate the cone. So I'm gonna make a little bit of room here. And not this one, this one. So let me take some dark brown. If I was gonna paint this on some kids, what I would do is I would paint them out on paper and offer them, paint them, and then kind of say, do you want an ice cream that fell or an ice cream that's melting or whatever, you know, and then pick one. So this is more of just a design ideas for you guys. So I thought this makes a cool design on a cone. So I got some dark brown here and I'm just gonna tap that out. That's cool. And then on this cone here, the design, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use gold. And here's my gold. And I'm going to use this lattice from the Argyle kit. It's pretty cool because there's actually like some dead ends here that you can line up along the bottom of the cone. The other thing is that with using a color like gold, if you overlap your stencil, it's really not the end of the world because it's a pretty light color. But it's really effective using a shimmer like a gold because it is a small area. You could put some glitter on here too. There we go. The big reveal was lost. So that makes kind of a cool little waffle cone shape using that one. All right, we're getting super close here to being done, so maybe we should add some faces to these guys. I liked this surprised face for this guy because it looks like he's surprised that he's melting. So let me grab a little dauber and some black here. And we'll put the surprise face. So when I'm lining up the surprise face, he's got some eyebrows. I want to have one of the eyebrows kind of come off the edge of the photo. So it helps with the whole melting, I'm melting kind of atmosphere to him. So I'm going to line it up like that. Get in there. These finger daubers are great for just getting small areas. Ha ha. I keep saying that. Ha ha. This guy, I'm going to put some like more far apart eyes, like spaced out. And I want I want them to kind of be off-centered so they look like his eyes are melting like down his face without having to replace them. And I want this eye to be really close to that edge because I got a funny idea of what to do. So I'm going to go like that. Grab these two eyes. I've also tried this whole face with the ice cream. It's funny because he's got his tongue out, so you could be like licking his own ice cream. I don't know, sounds weird, but whatever. I'm gonna go with a mouth from this card, and I'm gonna use this little talking mouth right here. But I'm gonna turn it upside down so it looks like he's kind of like totally screaming like, ah, what's happening to me? So I'm gonna put it down here on an angle like that. Right? But wait, there's more. I'm gonna grab some blue. Get a little blue on a sponge here. And I'm gonna use the tears. This guy knows he's finished. This guy upside down. So I'm gonna put some little tears popping off his eyes. It's funny, right? And because tears are wet, and I think because I'm also finished all my stenciling on paper, I'll put some glitter on. The thing about putting glitter on paper when you're working, I just dip my little dauber in some glitter. Glitter on paper washes off really quickly, so that's why I'm doing it with no other stenciling. But I got a space right here, so maybe I will put another stencil. I'll do this. This is the little action bubbles from the Arrows in Action kit. I want to use this little talk bubble. I'm going to turn it over so it's angled towards him. And let's pick a nice color. Let me grab a little clean, here's a clean sponge. Let's see, a talk bubble. I got white paper. Maybe I'll do like, I'll do just a yellowish color. We'll kind of stick with that ice cream cone kind of theme. So we'll stick it like that. Maybe just to make it dry faster, I'll take some powder and just put it on there. Okay. Oh, my stencil was wet and I made a little, the back side of my stencil, I didn't check it. I'll put something there to fix it. What are we going to put in the talk bubble? I think that we'll use the funny happy hippie stencil that has some little question mark and exclamation mark and all that kind of stuff going on, going, what the what? What's happening to me, bro? Oh, it's my demise. It's the end, I know it. Oh, it's just me in the street. It's just me in the street, bro. Okay, so let's put these guys on here. I'm gonna fit them inside that little talk bubble. Grab this little question mark. A little bit of a screw thing there. Ah, it fits perfectly. Oh, I made it. I gotta check the backs of my stencils before I'm going on here. I'm trying to go so fast for you guys. Okay, let's just put some other stuff down there to fix that up. I'll show you how to fix it. So if this happened on a kid, easily you could just like get a baby wipe and wipe it off. Just because you can wipe it off their skin real easy. On the paper, we'll just mend it using some of that. Sorry about that. Just want to have this perfect for whoever wins it. You know what I mean, bro? So let's just stick a star over here. Looks like there was a star there before anyways. Line it up. And these little ice creamy stars. When that dries, I'll put something else on there. Okay. Let's outline it. Show you how to outline. Watch me outline. So real quick, you don't need to outline these. I can't believe I just went outside the line so badly there. You don't need to outline these, but if you have time, adding little accents totally makes it look cool. I guess that drip went further, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Sorry, my hand's gonna probably block the camera here for a second. Okay, next time I'm not drinking coffee, right? I had a little cortadito before I started, and my hand's a little shaky. Sorry, guys. Oh, he's crying. The funny thing is that you can make up all kinds of stories with this when you're painting the kids' faces too, or on their cheeks or on their arms. These are great for on arms too because the kids can see them, you know, and that's one of the main things is being able to see everything. Especially when you're telling stories, then they can see the story unfold about the ice cream. And having like the ability to know a little scene like this too helps when you end up at a party and there's only a couple of kids and they hired you for hours and hours and you're like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing here for that whole time? What else can we do? Oh, I'll show you guys the little snowflake stencil. Since it's ice cream, it's kind of a cold little scene, right? So this is the snowflake stencil that you will be winning. The winning share will win this winning snowflake. My little stencil here. It's cool, right? I put it on a nice little angle so that it looks different from the other snowflake stencils out there. Plus, I noticed the other snowflake stencils out there are always like straight on, like it's just straight on. And with a straight on stencil, with a straight on shape, it looks like it's repeated really easily. Whereas this one, if you just twist it, I didn't turn it upside down or anything even. If you just twist it, it'll look like a whole other shape. So let me just go here. And you can see, right? Like those two don't even look like the same thing. I mean, you know it's the same thing because you just watched me do it, but to the non-discerning eye who's not watching my every little move here, meaning parents, boom, and kids. Let's stick another one right there. So there's enough action in this tiny little stencil that you can fill up a pretty decent little area right away and make a pretty good little atmosphere going on right away, right? The only other thing I could think of, oh, here's a funny little add-on that you can do too, and that is, you know when you're a kid and you bite the edge of you bite the tip of your cone off? I have a little, now I just, sometimes when I'm painting for you guys, I just chuck my stencils around everywhere. Oh my goodness. And now I can't find the one. Oh, here it is. Okay. This little guy here turns out really cute. If you paint it with a bit off tip, then you can add some little explosion lines like, ah, how did you do that to me? You know what I mean? I'll stick some up here anyways too. Makes it look even more like an exclamation mark of what the heck is going on, guys? Anyways, there we go. I am hoping you're loving this particular ideas of face painting designs, cheek art kind of stuff. I mean, you could turn this into a mask too. Just use one of the ice creams as a centerpiece, or melting over the eyebrow would be funny. I would super love to see what you guys come up with. Know that when you share, you're sharing the love. I appreciate it so much. Any orders off my website? If you want to order, from my website and get a bunch of these stencils for this that I'm using for this design, you can always hit me up and I'll give you a discount code. Woo, yeah. So let me flip my camera around and I'll say goodbye to you. Oh, actually here, no. Let me show you some other ice creams that I did. I was practicing, so I got, this one looks more like a snow cone because it's just got the real smooth top, drips. This one I used bubbles, kind of, I don't know, like those dots, you know, those dots ice cream. I was kind of thinking of that. The poo from the Emoji, just layering the poo, and then different kinds of patterns for the insides of your ice cream cones. Create different kinds. I was trying to do cotton candy here, but it's awfully big and weird. I don't know how I would fit that on a face, but it kind of worked. There's a bunch of different ice cream shapes. There's the ones we painted today. Here's a different little practice I did right before the show. I was got a little chocolate cover. This guy, he kind of looked like a piece of sushi, weirdly, more to me than an ice cream cone, so I went with this kind of a look instead. Anyways, practice, practice. Show me your designs. Let me flip my camera here so I can talk to you guys again. Hey everybody. So thanks so much. I know I've probably been talking for half an hour or more showing you guys this stuff. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your interest in learning these little techniques, and I super appreciate you supporting my artwork. It really does mean a lot to me. All these stencils I made for myself, for painting designs for myself, and being a face painter and being out there in the field, and my face painting friends wanted to have them, so I just made them to share with all of you. So it really does mean a lot for me to see you guys using them, you know, and it really means a lot to see the ideas that you guys come up with, because then I'm able to share them out there too. And just, you know, it really is about making like the kids super happy and the parents super happy. And this is kind of a different type of face painting style than people have seen, you know, like the stencil background being really generic, but now we're using stencils to tell a whole crazy little story, right? So I super like storytelling while I'm painting. I find it gets me a lot more tips, and it also covers for when I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm able to kind of like talk and make some stuff up. So this is what you'll win. Share the love. If you want to get like a whole bunch of these stencils at once, and you're looking to paint this, hit me up on a PM and I'll give you a little discount code. Other than that, keep in touch, and I will be back on Friday with another little video that will show you a super fast little character to practice. But share the love, share your artwork, share this video, and I'll talk to you guys super soon.